Congratulations, and John. We're so happy to have you here with us today, and thank you for all your help on this symposium as well. So, really appreciate it.
So as everybody can tell, we're about 20 minutes behind, right? So for the virtual folks, especially knowing that we're going to try to catch up sometime in between lunch and the poster sessions, so that we will be on time for ending, but also on time for the 3 o'clock Jack Sim plenary session, world-renowned sanitation expert, kind of closing down our symposium, bringing a lot of good energy there. So make sure you stick around for that. Also, just shout out to Jeff, doing a great job. Appreciate the technical support. As you all know, trying to make this all work is a little bit of a challenge, but thankfully it's been pretty good, right? Yeah. Right. Knock on wood. Okay, so this is the lightning round 1, where we give the opportunity to sponsors and exhibitors to get up here and give a very brief elevator speech on what you do, where you go, how you do it, that kind of stuff. And we're going to start off with Steve Warner with Innovative Water, Innovative H2O. Steve. Oh, it's not come up, I guess. Well, then
Okay, H2O for H2O, sorry, Innovative H2O, excuse me. I'm sorry, I was so busy congratulating John, I wasn't paying attention. But anyway, Innovative H2O is based in Southeast Colorado, and they manufacture a unique technology. And they'll be the first one to tell you that you shouldn't start with the technology, you should start with the water source. But their technology uses solar power through solar panels or turbines to be able to pump water through reverse osmosis filters. But the whole unit is self-contained. And the person who's been a sponsor of our symposium for many years, Jack Barker, has worked with Rotary clubs all over the world. These units are manufactured in Southeast Colorado and then shipped. But Jack has been in development field for so long, he knows that it's not just a question of shipping a technology and taking it out of a box and setting it up, that you have to invest a lot in training. So with Rotary's help, they do a lot of training before anything is shipped. They're there on site, make sure that the technology, which they call the SunSpring, it's a cylinder, and the power source, again, is from a solar panel. They draw water through the filter. The water comes out, is safe to drink. They've created models working with communities so that this water can be sold to other communities, so it helps generate income for the community. That can also be used for maintenance and repairs. Jack would love to partner with more Rotary clubs. He's actually partnered with hundreds of Rotary clubs around the world to bring these units to communities. And I just refer to it in my own parlance as plug and play, because he supplies 3 years of spare parts. As part of the training, if something breaks, like one of the electronic components, it can just be popped out and another one put back in. And they stay in touch with these communities to check up on the systems. And if anything breaks, the people know how to get a hold of them. And they send people again to help make the repairs. So it's, if the technology is appropriate for the water source, it's a really good solution. And he would love to partner with more Rotary clubs. Ironically, even though he's been involved with this symposium for a long time, he hasn't really had that many Rotary clubs in our district partner with him. These are clubs all over the world, including all over the US. So anyway, you can see their name. The URL is the same as the name.com. You can look them up, and he'd be happy to talk to you if you find a situation where his technology can be helpful.
Well done. And actually, thanks to Heidi, on the Wash Symposium website, you hover over each one of our sponsors, and then you'll be able to go directly to their website. Did everybody hear that? This thing shut down. Okay. I do want to mention that we do have this kind of concurrent session. The AWWA, who is one of our grant sponsors, sponsoring all the students, has a presentation upstairs in 4140 for students interested in what AWWA does and the importance of their advocacy for Safe Drinking Water Act and operators and maintenance of water systems. She will, Amy, right? Mary, sorry. Mary will be upstairs in 4140 here, I would say 11:30. And that will also be broadcast. That will be another breakout room for the folks that are virtual. The next person is actually me. For the sponsor and exhibitors. Again, I'm Tim Wellman. I'm the executive director of WEFTA, which is Water Engineers for the Americas and Africa, and it's been a pleasure to be part of this for many years. In fact, our organization is really meant to connect technical expertise and donors with communities in need, rural communities in Latin America and Africa, and we're also working with the new initiative of water and sanitation hygiene for healthcare facilities as well as schools, particularly in Africa, but we also have a project in Mexico we just completed. But you all are aware of that initiative. It's a good one to get water and sanitation to healthcare facilities that have never had water and sanitation before. It's impressive. We are largely a volunteer run organization. Our country coordinators donate time, our volunteers donate their time and their expertise really to these projects. And the benefit of getting volunteers and that technical expertise all together is obviously for the community itself, but also to raise or generate youth development, really our young engineers, our young aspiring water and sanitation technicians to be able to work on a project with mentorship and then be able to go and actually see the project, whether feasibility assessment type work or post-construction follow-up. But we are WEFTA, and it's great to be here. Next is it Ray Stransky? Yes, all right. With Project Education South Sudan.
Hello, my name is Ray Stransky, and for the past 17 years or so, I have been associated with a group called Project Education South Sudan. And
my name is Miklina Kenyi, and I've been associated with a nonprofit called Empowerment Through Education.
And so our two organizations, since we are both doing girls' education in South Sudan, have joined together and become Girls with Books. So, Miklina's going to tell you a little bit about it.
Yes, and Girls with Books is the product of two organizations, and I'm the executive director. We help girls, sponsor them into boarding schools and day schools in Juba and in Bor and in Uganda, the refugee girls. So like earlier, I remember when Tusi presented about the Y ideology, I just wanted to connect to that and say we are the reverse of that ideology. There is a problem and we are addressing a problem coming up. So addressing the problem, the many hates he said earlier is like through the girls. So we empower the girls and give them the tools. And then we send them out to address the different problems that will pop up anytime through their lives. we have an issue of like girls not being able to go to school in South Sudan. We have policies being made, and then just to have girls follow. We have a lot of problems of ethnic wars and things like that. But we decided to bring these girls from different tribal lines or tribal background, go to school together, study together, and then grow up together to address the different problems they have and to see each other like a sister and South Sudanese, but not as like this is from this tribe and this is from that tribe. So our work is to pay for their school fees, pay for their boarding requirements, for school requirements, uniforms, accommodation, transportation, everything that we can give them to make their studies easier and just have them focus on like getting that knowledge to address the problems that they face in their different communities as South Sudanese, but not as girls from different tribes. So that's what we do. And our website is Girls with Books. You can go there. It's still in the developing stage. You can go there and just see what we do and learn more, connect with us. We have business cards. We have flyers. We wanted to reach out and see like how we can bring peace to that part of the world that is suffering so much through the grassroots. Thank you so much.
Okay, our next exhibitor is Rashid, online, should be joining us here through the power of Zoom. And we'll just remind you, Rashid, that we've got 3 minutes for your presentation.
Okay, thank you. So, hello everyone. My name is Rashid Diallo. I'm from Burkina Faso. I'm a water and sanitation engineer, and I'm a consultant monitoring the building of water infrastructures. So, for 2 years, between 2019 and 2021, I was building boreholes. We built 215 boreholes for rural areas with manual pumps. So I've seen a lot of places I've never been to, and I saw that people were drinking water that was so red, it was basically mud. So what we did there was a great impact. But I understood that one of the main problems was the companies that was building the boreholes. They didn't have the resources, they didn't have the knowledge to do it the best way. So the quality of service and the equipment was the problem we had the most. Yeah. So I created my own company called Flow Engineering, and we provide water infrastructure for rural areas and refugees. Since we have terrorism in my country, more than 2 million people have to flee their homes and living in refugee camps. So our main focus here is our boreholes with manual pumps or systems with electrical pumps. So those electrical pumps are working with solar panels. So the whole purpose here is to provide a quality infrastructure that is simple and easy to fix actually. For the borehole, we are doing the tests to ensure that the resource is sustainable, and we test the water for the water quality, looking for heavy metals, bacteria, and more than 20 other components. Most of the other companies do not do that. They just do the boreholes and just pump the water. And I believe the private sector has an important role to play so everyone can have access to clean water in a sustainable way. And more than 30% in my country, 30% people lack drinking water. Like I said before, 2 million people are far from their home now, and they lack everything. So now Flow Engineering is looking for partners to help solve these issues. The technology exists and it's quite simple. It has to be well executed and taken care of. So before leaving, I want to thank Rotary Club Denver and Peter for bringing me to this symposium. I met them when I was a fellow for Mandela Washington Fellowship in CU Denver. I'm really enjoying that symposium. So thank you.
So we are going to start the student session for any students that are interested. AWWA will be upstairs, 4140. The next exhibitor, sponsor, presenter we have is Steve with Transform International.
By the way, the last one and this one that I'm speaking about are organizations that I've volunteered for, and were not able to come in. Innovative H2O is in Southeast Colorado and would have been not too hard for Jack to get here, but he's actually traveling on a project that Rotary Club has sponsored, so he's not even in the state. Transform International is based in the Pacific Northwest in Olympia, Washington, but they also have an arm of their organization in Canada. Was started by a group of Rotarians who felt that there needed to be more training closer to the locations where you can find the needs. And so Transform sponsors centers in several different countries, in about 12 different countries. And so these are actual physical buildings that display different types of water technologies like hand pumps, rope pumps, things like that. And they have a whole series of classes that both community members, local government leaders, NGO representatives can go to and take classes on how to build, how to maintain, how to fix these small-scale technologies. And so they're called Transform International because they're hoping that by putting training and support closer to where the communities that need help are located, that they can help with the long-term sustainability of projects. And again, Transform's volunteers and board members are all Rotarians. While they focus mostly on WASH projects, they also have technologies that help with sustainable agriculture and also small-scale energy systems such as solar panels, how to install solar panels, maintain solar panels, things like that. So they would love to work with Rotarians and participating in the symposium today in District 5450. When the list of sponsors comes up or on your phones, as Tim already mentioned, you can go to Transform logo and hover your mouse over it and up will pop their website. So they invite you to check them out and contact them if you see a need around the countries you're working in where they could be of help.
Thank you, Steve. Next up, we'd like to invite Brima from the Desert Research Institute for a few words.
Yeah, so I have the pleasure of representing DRI up here. We are the Desert Research Institute, and we are an academic institution that is part of the Nevada System of Higher Education. We have campuses in both Reno and Las Vegas. And DRI, since 1959, has been working really hard to improve and expand the scientific knowledge of applied environmental research. And so they've done just a wonderful job of both in Nevada and the US and around the world. And so CWAS, the organization that you see us here working with, is the Center for International Water and Sustainability. And our express goal from when we were founded in 2013 was to take that applied research and take it to the experiences of developing countries. And we have done that through various programs. And I would like to say that our main goal of doing that is through education and capacity building. I can honestly say that we're really trying very hard to work ourselves out of a job. So some of the programs that we have are the WASH Capacity Building Program. And this provides technical capacity training and research to NGOs and government field staff in developing countries through a series of competency-based modules. So again, training those local folks to then go out and do the work. We also have programs in water treatment. So again, taking that applied research and finding ways of making it accessible to places where maybe certain things aren't available or reliable power and those sorts of things. And so we're currently working on iron and arsenic removal, as well as fluoride removal technology. So really trying to pioneer that. We also have the Circuit Rider program, which I think many of you probably have heard of from Steve. And so that is an approach that we didn't come up with, but that we've adopted. And it's a simple and cost-effective way of increasing sustainability and follow-up in the post-construction support of water systems. And so we are very excited about that program. And we currently are doing that in Ghana, Chile, and Honduras. And we've now adapted it to the healthcare facility experience in Malawi. And so piloting that currently. And yeah, just learning a lot from it. We also work in environmental resource management. Brima is very involved with utilities in Ghana and helping them to find ways to lower the impacts of harmful algal blooms, which I know if anyone's here from the Great Lakes, you know that's a really big issue. And in addition to that, we also host the DRI University Network. So again, working with universities both in the US and abroad to help empower them and do the capacity building and have the knowledge to train folks within those countries and here so that we can all share the same knowledge. And I find often in academia, we tend to hide our knowledge and try to make it ours. But in this sense, we're trying to really share it and have it for the global good. So DRI and CWAS are both just incredible institutions that are really working to expand all of that knowledge and find innovative ways of making it work for everyone.
Thank you very much. We have a couple more before we break for our lunch break. So next we would like to invite up for the Nuba Water Project. Thank you.
Hello, I'm Martha Boone, representing Nuba Water Project. I'm also here today with Martha Riley, who is chairman of our board. I am on the board of this all-volunteer nonprofit that was formed in 2006. We serve people in the Nuba Mountains in Sudan. The region is located on the border between Sudan and South Sudan. Clean water brings life has been our motto from the beginning. We sponsor WASH projects. We've been involved with building the dam, drilling wells, and supplying borehole repair and toolkits. We've sent about 770 repair kits that have been dispersed throughout the Nuba Mountains. Our most recent borehole repairs have been in the villages of Salara and Kagoria. When the Civil War broke out, we had to back off with some of our water endeavors, and we began sponsoring university students from the Nuba Mountains. And we have graduates who include 2 who have obtained master's degree in public health, another one with a degree in electrical engineering, and an individual with a degree in agriculture. All of these students have returned to the Nuba Mountains to educate and bring supplies and share their expertise with the Nuba people. We are currently sponsoring Morsal, who is attending medical school in Uganda. Our current WASH project now is a well with a submersible pump, and we hope to put a tower on top water, have a tower and a tank on top of that. And this is going to serve the village of Orang, which should serve about 3,000 people and 3,500 livestock. There's also a school nearby that will benefit from this, and the drilling is scheduled to start later this month. We're participating with this project with the Denver Southeast Rotary Club, who is helping with our funding. So our primary fundraiser each year is what we call the Walk for Sudan. And it's going to be held tomorrow, actually, tomorrow afternoon at Cherry Creek State Park. We have an hour from 1 to 2 where we have a Sudanese celebration with a Sudanese market and refreshments. We have a silent auction and we have a program. And then at 2 o'clock, we do our 5K walk through Cherry Creek State Park. So if you go to walkforsudan.org, you can register. We have a table in the back. We have the website on wristbands. So visit us or find us today, or you can also find information on our website, which I understand you can get to from the program website. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Martha. Up next, I'd like to invite Washington from Freshwater International.
Well, as you know, I am not Washington, but I am from Freshwater Project International. I'll make this really quick since it's the lightning round, and I know you guys are hungry. Some of you have already started. My name is Heidi Brickles. I'm the co-founder and current executive director of Freshwater Project International. We do wash projects in villages, in schools, and our main focus is wash in healthcare facilities, particularly in the Zamba district of Malawi. I know many of you and am really integrated with Rotary and the Rotary E-Club of WASH. And want to let you know we are doing a global grant, our first ever global grant for healthcare facilities, WASH in healthcare facilities. And I've already talked to some ISC chairs. Our district for the E-Club of WASH is District 9999 out of New Zealand. But as I don't live in New Zealand, I am leveraging through that district, but also through the district where I do know people and they're in my time zone, and that's 5450. So I will be reaching out if you have any questions on our global grant. If you have my card, I'm back at the table, and I'm happy to talk more about it. Our team is amazing in Malawi. Washington, whose name I think I wrote down as the exhibitor, Washington Chizimulu is one of our Malawian board of directors. He's here in the States for a few years, so we brought him to this event. And if you have any questions on Malawi current events or the situation, he's the one to talk to. So thank you so much for your time and for being here. And that's Freshwater Project International.
Thank you, Heidi, and sorry, Washington. Okay. And I believe we have one more before our lunch break, and we will have another session this afternoon with a few more exhibitors. So if you haven't had a chance yet, you are in the next session. And so we'd like to invite Kay Watawa from Village Health Partnership. Oh, Peter. Okay, great. Thank you.
I'm speaking on behalf of Kay Watawa and myself, associated with the Village Health Partnership. Steve Werner, by the way, serves as our district champion, which we also greatly appreciate. Let me tell you something briefly about the Village Health Partnership, which also had a presentation this morning, thanks to Kay. We work in extreme Western and Southwestern Ethiopia for nearly a decade now, under the leadership of Dr. Miggs Muldrow, who some of you know. Briefly, as Kay shared this morning, we partner with an extensive number of organizations, which really part of what makes this go. And one of those I want to cite, because you've just heard from our friend Tim Wellman a few moments ago, is WEFTA, which Tim works with. So that's one of those several that we effectively partner with in this challenging work in Western and Southwestern Ethiopia. The purposes: improve access to clean water, sanitation, and hygiene, the WASH mantra. Implement infrastructure for maternal and neonatal health, including the building, in some cases for the first time ever in various small villages, maternal waiting rooms. These maternal waiting rooms for people who are about to give birth are really important. And they give a sense of camaraderie, a sense of togetherness for the women who are there, and they're in close access to doctors and nurses who will be ready when they're ready to give birth. And this has been one of Village Health Partnerships. It seems simple, greatest innovations, the development and building of maternal waiting rooms near these various clinics. VHP also trains healthcare providers, of course, in the areas of clean and safe healthcare, including WASH. And one of the foci is nurse midwives, challenging and essential people. And in the most remote areas, and I'm going to name the names because I am an anthropologist, and it's always fun to name the names of tribal people, whether you're an anthropologist or not. 3 of the tribes we work with are the Ma'en, the Suri, and you'll like the name of this third one, the Dizzy. I talked to a man among the Dizzy tribe. I said to him in English, "Are you dizzy?" He knew enough English to know that I was either asking if he was dizzy or asking if he's a member of the Dizzy tribe. And he was not dizzy, but he was a member of the Dizzy tribe. So even in these areas, we have some fun. We have some chuckles. We keep smiling in the work we do, even in the most challenging circumstances. One of the most challenging, and then I'll conclude, is the work we do in transporting women who have fistula or uterine prolapse. These are critically, as many of you folks know, critically important and debilitating conditions. And our organization helps with the transport to get them to key doctors for surgery. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Peter. I'd like to just have one more round of applause for all of our exhibitors and sponsors. Thank you. And you've probably been admiring the sunshine that's come out outside, so I welcome you all to take a good 15-minute break before we come back for our lunchtime plenary and enjoy the sunshine outside. And there's plenty of food left for those who haven't eaten or who have eaten, so feel free to take some more. Thank you. We're just going to be 1 more minute, and we'll bring up the introducer.